Let's start with the day 1 assignment. Assignment 1, collaborative assignment level 1. Write a pseudocode to move from the start S to the end E in the maze. You can drag and drop the pseudocode magnets to the pseudocode box and create the appropriate pseudocode. So look at this. We're going to start from S to end. So look at this magnets available. There are 6 magnets available. So first and foremost magnet, we can start with the start. Start not equal to end. So till this we're going to repeat. We need to repeat. Then of course you can end while, within which you can actually place. Otherwise you can later also you can have the end while. So while start equal to end, and you're going to say move right. That's step number 1. You're going to say it's move right. Yes. If his next block is a bomb, if it finds a bomb in the next block, then it has to move down. It has to move down twice. So what we need to do is we'll have to use this again. Okay, not this. Yes, let me clear it. Reset. Yeah. While start not equal to end, keep moving to the right. So you say move right. Then what you do is, if next block is a bomb, then you will have to move down. So click move down, and of course 1, 2, twice it has to. See, when something is placed inside loop, it keeps moving, but when something is placed inside, it does only once. I can actually explain it. So once you can actually end this end if, then end while. Look at this, how it works. So it is trying to move to the right direction. The red color what you see, it shows that the pointer is moving towards the right. So what you have to do is it has to move down. So within this if, place one more move down, twice it has to move down. Yes, let's submit this. It comes down, then by default it moves to the right direction. When it comes to if there is a next block is a bomb, then it moves down twice. So you can do it this way. You can actually start with move right within the loop at the beginning. Otherwise you can have move right at the end also. Both are same. So you check if his next block is a bomb, then it moves down. If it is not true, then what happens? It comes to move right. So by default it keeps moving right unless it finds a bomb in the next block. When it finds a bomb in the next block, it comes down twice. So move down. That's the answer. You can try in both the ways. So you have reached the destination. Now let's move to the next problem statement. Write a pseudocode to find the minimum among 3 given numbers. Assume that the 3 numbers are always different. You can drag and drop options provided below to create the appropriate pseudocode from the set of statements provided. So 3 numbers given. So first input 3 numbers. See, look at this. You can actually have comparison of number 1 with number 2, number 1 with number 3 in the single statement. But here what they have given is they have given 2 different ifs, number 1 less than number 2, then number 1 less than number 3. So it's something like a outer. So what you're going to do is you're going to say number 1 is less than number 2. Then what you're going to do, if number 1 is less than number 3, then you will say number 1 is smallest. Else what are you going to say? You'll have to say number 3 is smallest. Why? Because they have given 2 number 3 is small, 2 display statements is given. That's the reason we need to use. And this magnets, actually this problem statements would ask you to use all the magnets available here. In the previous problem statement, which is not the case, you can actually reuse those. But here it is a different. But there are problem statements where you will have to use, you may need to use only 7 or 8 out of 10 pseudocode magnets. But here you are expected to use all the magnets. That's the reason you are displaying here number 1, number 3 is smallest. Then this is inner if statement. So you'll have to end this. Yes, we'll have to end this. Then what you're going to do is this is for outer if statement. We're going to have an else if. If number 2 less than number 3, then number 2 is smallest. So else last section by default number 3 is smallest. So here we have displayed number 3 twice. Number 3 is smallest. Here we have used number 3 is smallest is being used at the outer loop also. Why? Because these many magnets are even. If you try out other options, it might throw errors. Logically it might be right, but it might throw errors. So your answer is right. So I can actually show you how this works, right, with a small example. See, this is something like input n1, n2, comma n3. So this is the input statement you have given. So you're comparing n1 is less than n2. If so, what you're going to do is you're going to do it this way. So we are not going to use end if here. If n1 is less than n3, you will have to say just a print message. You will have to say n1 is smallest, because comparing the three numbers. Then close it off. Then you're going to have a else section. Say print n3 is smallest. So we are done with this. So this is the outer if, this is the inner if. So this comes as inner if and this is the outer if. Then what you will have? You will have a else if. Else if, what it says, because you are done with the n1 comparison. Now if it is going to come to an else if part, it is very well known that n1 is not smallest. So you will have to compare n2 with n3. So you are going to say n2 is less than n3. So what is it? What does it mean? It means that you will print, you will say display n2 is smallest, right? It's very clear. So we'll have to close this up. Then finally you'll have a else section. Else section says print n3 is smallest. That's it. So we have not used end ifs here. Why? Because we have opened and closed a curly brace. So every single block is separated with its curly brace. So this is the logic behind the problem statement given here. So you'll have to use all pseudocode maxims, only then it will show you're right, your answer is right. Now let's look at this problem statement. So I'm going to end this video, this particular video alone. I'm going to end this video. This assignment will have 1 to 3 assignments. I'm going to end this video with this example. Why? Because first two ones are pseudocodes, it deals with pseudocodes, and this one is a code, and I need to give you a clear explanation how the code works and how to work with this platform. Right. Please read the problem statement very, very carefully. My sincere advice to you all is reading a problem statement which make your job much easier. Jack and his 3 friends, because a lot of students have taken that only 3, they have got only these numbers, 3 friends. So they have divided the answer by 3, which is not right. Jack and his 3 friends, totally 4 of them, have decided to go for a trip by sharing the expenses of the fuel equally. Write a Python program to calculate the amount each of them need to put in for the complete journey, both to and fro journey. The program should also display true if the amount to be paid by each person is divisible by 5. That's the second part. Otherwise, it should display false. Use the relational operators in print statement. You can use it in the print statement or outside the print statement. It is not a big deal. Assume that mileage of vehicle, amount per liter of fuel, and distance for one way are given. Only one way is given, so we'll have to calculate it for 2way. Test your code by using the given sample inputs. Verify your code. This is very important. I'll tell you what it is. Verify your code by using the second sample input, highlighted, given below. So you'll have to verify. If you're going to verify, you'll have to use this input. Alright. So you have to always submit your assignments and exercises. Please remember there are 3 steps involved in this. So sample input given, mileage of the vehicle, kilometer per liter of fuel, amount per liter of fuel, distance for one way, it's given distance for one way, expected output, right? So for 12, 65, 96, it should come like 260 is per head cost, then 260 is divisible by 5. So that is the reason we have mentioned displaying true. These are two outputs we need to work on. Now let's look at the submission part, right? So we do not need to do very simple work. We need not do anything. Start writing your code from here, right? So I already have written. I think I should let me reset this and unfortunately I'm not able to reset. If I reset, I should be able to. So this is it. So start writing your code from here. So all you need to do is populate the variable per head cost and divisible by 5. So I'm going to start from here. Populate these two variables. We need to get the results for these two variables. So per head cost is equal to. So we know distance one way. So we'll have to multiply this distance one way into 2, right? Then what should I do? We'll have to calculate number of liters of petrol required. So what we need to do is we need to divide by mileage. So if you do this, you will get the number of liters required. Then the whole answer need to be right. So distance one way divide by mileage, then the whole answer should be multiplied by amount per liter. So once you get this, so you will get the total amount is involved, total amount required for this trip. So it needs to be divided by 4. Very simple, right? So distance one way multiply by 2, then you get the total distance, then divide by mileage, then you will get number of liters of petrol required. Then that needs to be multiplied with amount per liter, fuel cost. Then finally there are 4 persons are traveling, so they'll have to share equally. So divide by 4. Then what do you want to do? Divisible by 5. So it is a boolean value. It already has a false value. False. So what I'm going to do is, if per head cost divisible by 5 equal to 0, right? Then what do you say? Divisible by 5 equal to, you set true. If you do not set, by default it is a false, because already it's a pre-written with the false, so we don't worry about it. So that's it. So let's execute this. We get 306. So once you need to execute, then you get 306 false. You're going to verify. It's an incorrect solution. Why? Because it's very clearly given, verify your code by using the second sample input. So second sample input is, maybe you can test with the first output, 12, 65, 96. 12 is already there, 65, 96. This is for our reference. So we get 260 and false. It shouldn't be so. It has to come as a true. Let's see what happens. I think it is modeless. Yes. So 260 true is what we get. Now second output, 12, 40, 190. It's already 12 here. Change it to 40. Then you change to 190. 316, you get it like this. You click on verify, you get correct solution. Once you get it as a correct, then you'll have to submit. You'll get the message that your code has been submitted. So once it is submitted, then you can move on. Before that, I want you to go through this visualize. Please remember this. If you do not understand something, it's better to look at this visualize. So it shows how the backend process happens, right? So mileage, the interpreter is on this line. It is about to be executed, right? So it creates memory space for mileage in the global frame, and the value is assigned as a 12. Then amount per liter as 40. Per head cost, by default what is? It is a 0. divisible by 5, by default it is a false pool. Now you're going to calculate periodic cost. So the formulas which you have applied, right? So distance one way into 2 mileage and all that, it is calculated. Periodic cost has become this. Then you're checking it is divisible by 5 or not. If it is divisible by 5, then you set the value accordingly. Otherwise, then you print it. Output will be displayed here. It's displayed here. So you can go back to this. You'll have to click on edit code. You can approach all the problems in the same way.